Don't be afraid to reach out to people cold, because what you said, most successful people will take time to respond. All right, so we're sitting here now with Nick Ameluxen. Nick Ameluxen is a young guy by my standards, right? I'm in my 50s now, but he's a rock star. I mean, he might not like me saying that about him, but he really and truly is. He's got a great story of perseverance, of, you know, how he got started in this. And I think it's important for people to hear what he's done, how he's gotten here, and what he's been up to. So Nick, thanks for being here with us.
Yeah, of course.
So I want to start by, you know, we're not going to go through all the typical stuff where, you know, where were you when you were 12 years old and all that, but talk to people, because I put somebody in touch with you earlier today that I thought you really might be able to help. How did you get started? You know, what was your journey like at the very beginning?
I was a mechanic, actually, before I started investing in real estate. And truthfully, I really enjoyed it. I was good at it. It made good money by my standards, but it was very physically hard. And I got to the point also, you know, in my career where I couldn't make any more. Right. And I knew I was capable of more. So I just started looking into investing just in general, which, you know, my family historically never talked about finances, didn't do. So it's, you know, I'm starting from ground zero, and went into the stock market, actually did very poorly. No matter how much research I did, it just seemed like, you know, I couldn't really influence anything. And that's when I, you know, kind of was reading all this investment, info and stumbled across Bigger Pockets podcast and realized, hey, here's an asset I can control, right? And that's how I got into real estate. Really, it was just started in that respect, the typical path. Started with single family, house hacking, you know, a duplex, bought some turnkey stuff, which fortunately I still own because I can't sell. And from there, you know, really enjoyed it. And the more I learned about real estate, the more I wanted to spend time in it. So I just thought, you know, what would allow me to scale the fastest? And that's kind of when I transitioned to multifamily.
Okay, so let's talk about your multifamily experience. Most of the people that are going to watch this are going to be kind of multifamily centric, multifamily minded. So okay. When you transitioned out of single family into multifamily, did you do that on your own? Did you go out and buy your own stuff? Did you syndicate right away? Did you have a JV, a partnership? What did you do?
I was really just looking for, one, how I could add value. And that sounds weird, but it was because I didn't have a lot of capital myself. The way I was buying single family was, you know, work for a year and then I'd save up enough for a 20 to 25% down payment on a home and then do that. Well, as I'm looking at multifamily in my area, you know, we're close to 100 and now way above 100 a door. It wouldn't buy me much, right? And in the market that I was in, there's not a ton of smaller properties. You know, it was all about 50 and up. There are some, but not that many that were at least trading. So I knew I would need partners, whether that was syndicating or joint venturing. And so I kind of prioritized, one, finding deals, because I felt like I'm in the market. That was the value I could add. And then while I was doing that, finding people who wanted to be in Austin or invest in Austin and, you know, tell them what I was looking for and basically saying, hey, if I found something that looked like this, would you be interested in taking a look? And that's how I found, you know, the first deals. I looked at a ton, made a lot of offers, and finally, you know, found one that stuck and reached out to a potential partner. And, you know, now we've done about 60 million in real estate. But you know, the first one was just that conversation is, if I found something that looked like this, would you be interested in taking a look?
Interesting. So where did you find that potential partner?
Bigger Pockets, actually. Okay. Yeah. I knew I had no network as far as when it comes to real estate. Once again, mechanic, didn't come from, you know, a family that had like vast amounts of wealth, or, you know, friends who did as well. This was not very commonplace for what I was doing before. And so as I started looking more at multifamily and realized I needed these people who could help qualify for loans and have the capital to close these deals, I was starting from ground zero. So attended a lot of local meetups, And also made it a practice to contact 2 to 3 people a day on Bigger Pockets and just kind of reach out and introduce myself and see if that's how we met. Yeah,
absolutely.
And see if there's anything I could do to add some value. And honestly, the success rate was extremely high. I was very surprised that people would respond. And that's how I met you. I met Mark, my partner, that way as well.
Yeah, and that's important for people to hear too, that don't be afraid to reach out to people cold, because what you said, most successful people will take time to respond. Now, if we respond and we realize, well, this guy only wants what's in it for him, you can kind of get a feel for who people are, and we will distance ourselves. But if you're an earnest person, you're really trying to figure things out and truly offering value of your own, most all successful people will help. You help other people now. I know that about you. You help. Your name comes up all the time, that you're somebody that's willing to give of your time freely, and it's very well recognized by lots of people. So I'm very happy that you're doing that and very proud of you for doing that. Final thing, I know you're busy. There's a lot going on behind us. So we're at a real estate conference. So talk to me about what do you come to a lot of these, but what do you gain most from these conferences? Because I think there's a lot of people that are still shell-shocked from COVID. They're maybe afraid to get out and move around, but these are so vitally important to building a business. What do you get mainly from these?
Man, it's hard to say what I mainly get, but the speakers are usually good. I do like hearing about topics and what's kind of happening in the industry. The broker panel that we just came from was actually they made a lot of good points, which I hadn't really considered. So that's always good, is when it kind of expands, your mindset. But honestly, it's what I get out of it is the community, meeting people from different areas or doing different things, or, coming back to adding value where they can, add value to what I do and I can add value to what they do. As we look into different markets, or other people are looking into the markets that we're operating in, there's sometimes you find some synergies there.
Right. Yeah. For me, it's about the networking. It's about, having a few cocktails at the end of the night with a bunch of cool kids, and we're all sharing things, and we all have very common interests. We're all in real estate. So yeah, these are really important. So Nick, I really want to thank you for taking some time with us. I know you're busy trying to learn all you can and network and grow your business. So again, thank you so much for taking some time with us.
Yeah. Thanks for having me.
Absolutely.
Appreciate it.